This is Ask an Expat with Marcus and Matt from An Expat's Russia, where we answer your questions about what it's like to live, work, and travel in Russia.
Today we're going to answer the question, can I live normally in Russia just by speaking English? Matt, what are your thoughts?
Well, can't give firsthand experience because I spoke some Russian when I arrived in Russia, which we both encourage everyone to do. But absolutely, you can live. Well, actually, let's not make that blanket statement. You can definitely live in Moscow or St. Petersburg only speaking English. There are tons of expat groups. There are places you can go to meet Russians who want to speak English. Lots of restaurants have English menus. All of the tourist stuff, obviously, they have English nowadays. The metro is in English.
So many
So
different
it's
mobile
certainly
apps
possible.
to get around.
Mobile apps, right? Like ordering taxis. Can you imagine trying to get a taxi not speaking Russian 10 years ago without
Mm-mm.
Uber or anything? It was a total mess. I remember it.
Yeah.
So these things have gotten easier, with time. And I would say absolutely yes, with the caveat that you are going to pay more for almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of landlords even are hesitant to rent to foreigners. I don't know about your experience, but in my experience, when I spoke Russian with them, they were totally fine. They were like, "Oh, well, this guy's like a Russian,"
It was
and
just because
I
of the
never
language
encountered
barrier.
any
They
issues.
if something
Exactly,
happens, then they need to. How are they gonna communicate? So
exactly,
in my experience, the landlords are just like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this.
exactly. It's not because they don't want a foreigner in their house. I would actually even say that most landlords would prefer to have a foreigner. The problem is they're worried about communication when there's problems, right?
Yeah.
So, not speaking Russian, it will be more difficult to find a place to live. And the places you do find to live, they're catering towards foreigners. Prices are going to be higher. Can't put my finger on a number of how much higher, but you're going to pay more for rent. You
Mm-hmm.
want to go, on the train somewhere. Conveniently, they now have machines where you can buy the train tickets, entering your information on the computer screen. It's gotten easier. But back in the day, when I first came to Russia, you had to go up to the lady and try to explain to her what train you wanted, which day, and they didn't speak a single word of
and
English.
and everyone's in line behind you being like, oh, there's a foreigner, this is taking forever. I remember that.
Right. Now, I would say most people, if there was someone in line who spoke English, they would be quick to help you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Russians are like that. But if no one around can speak English confidently, whew, it's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
And so these types of situations you're going to encounter everywhere. The grocery store, right? You have a question about something, you want them to cut the salami. How do you tell them which salami you want? I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
yes, you can always go to the more expensive grocery store and they'll have someone who speaks makeshift English, right?
Uh-huh.
But you're not going to get the real experience if you don't speak Russian. But it's absolutely possible to live there. You'll just pay a little bit more money. That's my thought. What
when
about you?
when I first got to Russia in 2005, across from the university there was a little like not even a grocery store, just kind of, you know, and I was kind of upset that I couldn't just go into a supermarket. I don't like asking people for help if I don't need to. So I couldn't
Right.
go into a supermarket and just pick the things that I want based on the pictures, right?
Oh
There was the
man.
lady behind the counter. You had to tell her what you wanted. She would reach back on her shelf, and I'd be like, можно это? No, no, нет, нет, это. Like I would just point and
Yes.
try to get her
Yes. I
to,
remember those days.
guess what I wanted. So there are those. In the bigger cities, you don't have those stores anymore, pretty much. But that was kind of the experience that you would have nowadays, not knowing any Russian, right? You're just like
Right.
helpless, kind of. So no, you can't live normally with the help of technology and implementation of English services already, like Matt mentioned. Uh, Now you can live much easy. I mean, it's much easier to kind of get those things done, but there are going to be those situations where I need a SIM card. I need, I need a
Yes.
specific type of, I don't know, ingredient. You want to bake something at home, and you're gonna go. It will take you, 3 times as long just to figure out what you need.
Well, I have an even better example. Think about when you want to go to the dentist or you need to go to the hospital, you have some medical issue. I'm not even joking, you're going to pay 4 to 5 times more to have a doctor who speaks English.
Yeah. So
You can go to great private clinics in Russia for routine medical stuff, but they do not speak English.
yeah, so you really do need basic Russian to feel comfortable getting. And of course, over time, you'll know exactly what yogurt you want to buy or milk or whatever. And there are lots of expat forums and things that you can get, advice and kind of get up to speed on. But there will still be those situations where you're like, I feel helpless. I don't know what to say. And so, you definitely want to, don't want to go to Russia thinking that you can slide with just English.
Yeah. That would be my overarching statement too. It's possible. You're not going to get the full experience. You won't be able to live like a local. You'll still have fun, but you're missing out if you don't speak Russian. This was Ask an Expat with Marcus and Matt from An Expat's Russia. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have a question about Russia, let us know in the comments. We'll answer it in the video.